welcome Aparna and welcome Siddharth.
Thank you.
Globally, celebrity endorsements go back to the 1700s. Over the years, they've seen a lot of evolution. There was a time when brands used to rope in film stars like Marilyn Monroe, and then they started roping in sports stars like, Michael Jordan. And now we have social media influencers. So in this session, we have two experts who are going to throw light on this trend and how it impacts brands. So let me start with you, Aparna. How do you see the evolution of celebrity endorsements influencing brand strategies across industries in general and in your sector in particular?
I think a very interesting topic, that you guys have picked first of all. So thank you for that. But I think it's a very interesting question as well, right? There's been a significant evolution in terms of how celebrity endorsements are being used and have been used earlier. And I would say that, like it should have been, it was all about reach. It's still about reach and the cut through that the celebrity can give you. But there was also a lot of, how popular they are, or, what is the star power they carry. And that used to be the, primary focus. But I would say that that's significantly changed now in terms of, how authentic that person is. And how reflective they are of your brand values. Because I think in this day and age where, access is very easy, and, we have the digital natives who know that, what feels transactional or not so true. So it becomes important to ensure that brands pick, endorsers who are almost advocates, who truly use the brand, who resonate with the brand values. And hence, it becomes all the more important for us to, while ensuring cut through and reach and all of that, to also ensure that there's authenticity, whether those brand values align with the celeb's way and style. So that's how I think it's evolved.
So Siddharth, do you echo Aparna's sentiments there when she says, celebrities should resonate with the brand's values? Because in America, if you look at it, there are 75% of sports brands now use athletes as their ambassadors. Do you see that, the similar story panning out in India as well?
I think those are two different things also, but see, sports is a category by itself, but even then, if the celebrities' values don't match the brands, you automatically see a disconnect. So even the audience will automatically see this as, oh, this is just, thrown money and they've got this endorsement. But when there's a true deeper connect with the brand and the values and the ethos of the celebrity, there's just unity in how you portray into the market. And like Aparna said, right, I think people have started smelling, the problems which come up. People want authenticity. They want connection. And if they don't see that on the advertising, on the celebrity endorsement, they automatically disconnect from the brand.
Sure. Now, coming back to you, Aparna, what role does storytelling play in modern celebrity endorsements compared to traditional glamorous endorsements as we used to see earlier?
So I would say storytelling is a very integral part of any advertising today for us at Titan. In fact, we're launching a new campaign which is called Wear Your Story. The genesis of this thought really came from the fact that, see, we're in the lifestyle, industry, and watches is a very important part of, it's almost an extension of your personality, right? It reflects who you are. So, one of the insights that came through to us was when we were meeting consumers is we realized that, there's a lot of trend chasing that, people feel compelled to do. There's a lot of, pressure to keep up to trends or certain, kind of badges that you must carry in order to sort of show to the world where you've arrived. So what we realized was there was a lot of pressure that was coming with it, right? And one of the things that we at Titan truly believe is that, there is substance with style, right? The style goes a lot deeper. It's not just about all the superfluous things, right? So one of the thoughts that Titan wanted to bring to the table was, wear your authentic self and wear your story. And as endorsers, we've also picked a few people who we truly felt were living this story, who've shaped this story, and who are people who are very authentically Titan, because there was also a lot of value fitment with, the kind of people we chose to go with. So I'd probably talk more about it as we go
Sure.
forward.
Would you give some examples of this, like what you just mentioned, this approach of that you just talked about?
So, since storytelling was the point we're talking about, and in fact, a lot of our watches, our products are also inspired, by stories. So, for instance, we have a collection called the Stellar Collection, which is inspired by the cosmos, right? So, there's a lot of, so there was one collection that spoke of the journey of the star, which is the birth of a star, which is the protostar, and then right up to the death of the star, which is the black hole. So, we had an entire collection that was around this. So we also picked people who would talk about these. So we don't just work only with large-scale celebs. We also work with a lot of influencers. We worked with astrophotographers, who understand the cosmic phenomena, and they shot some of those phenomena for us along with our watches, which were reflective of the story that the watch was trying to tell as well. So our storytelling is not just limited to our products, and our communication, but also extends to our products.
Interesting, very interesting. Coming back to you, Siddharth, what are your thoughts on this? Do you feel glamour gives you that short-term buzz, but storytelling, actually drives long-term loyalty?
Right. I think it's, again, going back to the same thing. It's like the story and the association with the brand is built over time, built over years also. When we think about Tata, we're not thinking about trust because it's like, overnight. It was built over time and over consistent messaging, consistent storytelling that takes the audience along with them on the journey. So your celebrity can give you a small bump if it does not connect with the story. But in the long run, even everything has to walk hand in hand. So your story, your celebrity, how does the product fit, everything has to be cohesive. Otherwise, we're just like, we're kind of throwing something on the wall and hoping something sticks. And don't get me wrong, there are times when that works, where, like a celebrity campaign can give you that buzz, but the outlier shouldn't be taken as the common, basically.
So Aparna, in your experience, how are consumer expectations changing for celebrity endorsements? Especially in the new generation, the Gen X and the millennials. How do you see that changing,
So, like I was, talking about the digital natives earlier, I think one of the things that they look for is, authenticity. They're looking for some realness. They can easily sniff out if you've got a celebrity who's not going to use your brand, right? And celebs today, are way more accessible, like I was talking about. They have their own, social media handles. They're a lot more accessible than, celebs were earlier on. So they're aware of, the brands they probably consume. And they can see that, when somebody is just endorsing the brand, but is probably never going to use it, right? So it's very important that you pick people who are not just endorsers, but almost advocates of your brand, who truly believe in, what your brand stands for, and also use your product. I think that's a very critical filter to use while picking celebs, because it's very easy for people to see through, when it's not authentic.
Sure. Siddharth, your take on this?
Yeah, actually, to pick up on that, like nowadays you see a lot of memes of like, celebrities who promote like, soft drinks and, chips packets. And then you'll see like, interviews where they're saying like, oh, no, I don't eat sugar, I don't eat fat. So now people are started creating memes and the hypocrisy is a lot more clear. So even with influencers, even with celebrities, everybody started, sniffing this out, where people just want more authenticity. If you don't like it, okay, fair enough. I don't need to agree with everything you like or don't like, but just kind of stay consistent with who you are as a person, from the celebrities, basically.
So you talked about an example where you didn't engage with a traditional celebrity in your campaign. Can you come up with a couple of more examples where there was some innovative engagement or engagement with a non-traditional celebrity in that sense that yielded dividends for your brand, your campaign?
Yeah. Actually, in Titan, we have various offerings for various, age groups, and also, we have across genders, right? So one of the collections we had launched was the Automatics collection, which is a automatic watch. It's actually a mechanical watch, and so there's a lot of precision involved in it, and it's a very, it's a very elegant looking watch. So the tagline we had for our campaign was "Precision meets elegance," right? And we said that if this were to be brought to life by someone, then we actually scouted a bunch of people, and we realized there's a wildlife photographer. So what we realized was these kind of partnerships actually bring out the true meaning of what your product and your watch also embodies, right? So there's a lot of precision involved in the way, and wildlife photography, you have to be absolutely precise, and there's a lot of elegance in the way the pictures are captured. So we actually worked with Mr. Shaz Jung, who's a wildlife photographer. We also have worked with various people. In fact, I would call even our latest campaign, the one that we're working on right now, which is due to release next week, on Wear Your Story. We chose to work with Vikrant Massi, right? And when we were speaking with him, I realized he's actually also a user of the brand, and he truly lives the values of the brand, and it was a very interesting conversation where he spoke of, that he never bothered about the length of the rolls, right? It was about the impact he could make, right? And he spoke about how, it is not how long I'm seen on screen, it's about how I make people feel seen, right? He's played characters that no one has. And so we picked him because we felt like there was a certain authenticity about him, and there was a lot of substance in this persona. And the very interesting part is that when he went to collect his national award, which is one of the most important days of his life, he actually wore a Titan. Right, and that's so telling of the fact that, see, this person is not just endorsing the brand, but is a true advocate of the brand. He chose to wear that brand because he identifies with the values of Titan. So I think that becomes super critical, right? Like, you can find a star and make them wear the watch, but if they're not going to wear it in their daily life, then the whole proposition falls flat, right? So it's important to pick people who truly are going to be representative and are going to be advocates of your brand.
Very true, Aparna. Siddharth, any examples that come to your mind? Any campaigns that you've given shape to?
I mean, I think it's also since we've already spoken about traditional celebrities, non-traditional celebrities, you can also flip the concept and how Cred used traditional celebrities in non-traditional ways. So that also again creates a different kind of where you have an association with a person, you think of them in a certain manner, and then you see them out of their own comfort zone, which kind of stirs some emotion within you. So it's like I see the concept of non-traditional celebrities also picking up, and at the same time traditional celebrities in non-traditional manners.
For example, can you illustrate this?
The Cred ads were the best example. So if you had Rahul Dravid,
Vindai.
Correct. So it's fascinating to see. People never saw that as inauthentic. They just saw it as a different side of the same person, probably a fictionalized version of that same person.
Sure. So Aparna, coming back to you, so with the rise of micro influencers and social media influencers, how do brands balance partnering with celebrities on one hand and these influencers on the other? What is the way forward? I mean, what's the strategy that a brand should employ?
I think both of them are equally critical because I think while there's a certain, and I'll speak about Titan, right? We said that there is a certain aspirational value we needed to bring, there's a certain authenticity we needed to bring, and a story that tells you, because a watch is, it talks to you as much as it talks about you, right? So we said it's important to find people who truly embody that. And that's why we picked, celebs like Vikrant Massey and PV Sindhu. But equally, we also work with a lot of influencers because we understand that, we have over 1,300 SKUs on the brand, right? And each of these brands, they cater to a different need state, a different occasion, right? So we also work with a lot of influencers, especially during our peak seasons like, festive, like our Diwali and Pujo and all of those campaigns where we work with a lot of micro-influencers who, style the watch with their outfit and, they talk about how, so because it's a lifestyle category, it's also important to, bring that part of it alive, right? Like how do you put an ensemble together and what's the right things to go with your attire and hence which watch fits in. So that kind of content, the everydayness of it, right, is that comes in from, these influencers. So I would say both of them are equally important for a brand to, work with.
So there has to be a tiered strategy, I guess, to fulfill different goals that a brand has. Siddharth?
Yeah, exactly that. You require tiered strategy. Obviously, it depends on the amount of money, like the budgeting that is required, and it can be strategically positioned as well. Sometimes, brand cannot afford a ambassador, so they go for the endorsement, and then they kind of support that with a bit more of an influencer campaign. But we also see it as like a slightly different manner. I mean, just in the tiered structure, celebrities are about building aspiration. I think influencers create participation. So there's, again, like in that tiered structure, how do you position it? Because there are drawbacks to both. Even with influencers, there can be drawbacks in the broader story. And with celebrities also, like, I think we've seen this with I think with Bika Ji, just to use them as an example. Amit Ji Loves Bika Ji became so popular, just put them on the map. But then when you realize that, okay, what next? You have to continue to pay the ambassador for how many ever years more. But how do you kind of transition out and get into different ambassadors? So everybody remembers this line. Then next is what? And influencers cannot kind of match that out. So you have to, again, kind of understand where the drawbacks lie and where can you plug in that gap.
So talking about drawbacks, Siddharth, what challenges can brands face when they align with celebrities? And do you think technology can play a role there? Because everybody is talking about artificial intelligence, playing a role in probably all functions in an organization. Can it actually play a role there as well? And how?
I mean, we're now seeing like AI celebrities as well. So people are doing brand deals with AI celebrities. But again, it's like, again, there's a sunset on that, right? Like you can do it for like 3 years. What if the server crashes? Like, those are problems which you never thought of before, like which is kind of silly to think about. But I think with celebrities in general, like it goes back to the thing that as AI increases even more, people search for rawness. People want to see the unvarnished truth. Nobody wants to see the made up and like the dressed up version of it. They like take us behind the scenes. So in the age of AI, showing what the lives are like, how it aligns with the brand's ethos becomes even more important. So that's how what we see as the way to counter the shortfalls. And just to comment on the drawback question, I think it's more about time, how much you can afford to pay, what is the ROI you have from this endorsement, and what happens if the celebrity goes after like a year and endorses another product, which we've seen happen a lot with influencers. So influencers jump between products and between endorsements. So yeah.
So have you faced similar kind of challenges, Aparna, in your campaigns? And are you also using artificial intelligence in some way or the other?
Yes, we do. But I think there are a lot of legalities involved, especially when we use, and we very strictly adhere to those, rules while we use. So a lot of the idea generation happens with AI, right? A lot of the initial part of the, the campaign development starts with a lot of AI tools, and we of course work with partner agencies as well who aid us in doing the same. But when it comes to the final output of what goes out to the consumer, all of the campaigns that we shoot are that is shot primarily for the purpose of the campaign, and hence, we're very careful about adhering to those legalities. And one of the things that I think it's important for us to, and I think these laws will also evolve, but it's important, and as Tata and Titan, we always err on the side of caution. So we're very, particular about that.
But AI can also help in matchmaking, no? Finding the right celebrity, aligning him with the right brand, that kind of stuff can also be done through AI, I guess. Great. So, final question before we take a couple of questions from the audience. What trends do you see in this space going forward? Aparna, starting with you. How do you see celebrity endorsements evolving further, say 2 years down the line?
See, I think celebs are also becoming a lot more, clearer about the kind of brands they want to be seen endorsing as well. I think there's a lot of integrity with which celebs today, work on brands, because there are many cases of celebs having refused to endorse certain brands, and many cases of celebs wanting to continue to endorse certain brands despite maybe not getting as much monetary benefit out of it. So we see both cases playing out equally, right? And hence, I think credit to them about how they're also choosing to endorse with brands, work with brands, because they also understand that, it works both ways, right? And they gain as much out of it as much as a brand does from them. It works both ways. So I think that's one good shift that's happening. And I think with respect to the way brands are responding to this, I think one of the critical things that I would say is there's a certain long-term partnership that brands like us are seeking today, because we also understand that, it's so ephemeral, everything is so fleeting now, but it's important that we, identify and stick to people who are very, truly reflective of the brand values. So that's the trend I see. But equally, I'm also seeing a lot of brands that are being very, let's say if there's a topical, event that has happened, there's a topicality to it, then brands are not shying away from just picking up, that one celeb or that one person who's just gone viral for a couple of days. And, but if it fits the brand, purpose, then I'm seeing that happen as well. So I think many possibilities are unfolding.
Final thoughts from you, Siddharth?
Yeah, on that question, in terms of the trends that I see, I feel like the concept of celebrity is going to become even stronger, because I think celebrities now, like, most people are buying based on somebody's recommendation. Earlier it used to be like, your family, your friends, they used to recommend. Now it's become like, okay, this person has X number of followers, LinkedIn, Instagram, it doesn't matter. Okay, this person is trustworthy, let me understand what they're saying. I will purchase what they're buying or what they're suggesting. So now we're seeing the rise of more gatekeepers, but it also kind of complements the, the fall in the broader celebrity ecosystem, where we're seeing that, more consolidation. We're seeing founders becoming, celebrities. And so they're just like, we need to push ourselves out there, because again, the celebrity mandate ends in 5 years, then what? So there are multiple, everybody has to be of influence rather than celebrity. And most people are seeing, if I have this person who's got 10,000 followers, maybe I'll trust their product. So it's also become, it's moving in that direction as well.
Wonderful, great. Any questions from the audience? Can we pass the mic, please?
Yeah, I am Hanif Sheikh. I am finance professional and a lawyer, High Court lawyer. This question I wanted to ask before lunch, but no questions were taken up. A generic question. Most of the brands have been developed by US or Western countries. Very few brands from developing countries. So what can be done so that Indian brands attain global status? And we inhabit 17% of world population, only 2% of global wealth. So unless that those things match, all poverty eradication and all that would remain mostly on paper, you can say. So what do we do so that we develop more Indian brands which have global status, so that wealth flows from developed nations to India specifically? Yes.
Your brand, anyways, is a global brand, parent company. But yeah, please go ahead.
I would like to firstly thank you for asking this question. I think it's a very important question to reflect on. But I'd like to say that there are a lot of Indian brands that I think we all should be truly proud of, and not just the one where I work with. I come from Titan, which is a very Indian brand. We celebrated 40 years just last year. So, and you're also right that all of the Indian brands must, aspire to become global brands, which means they need to be really, really the best at what they do. Right? If you look at Amul, that's another very Indian brand that's done, so much for the country. I was recently traveling to a country that doesn't have any fresh milk, and that's when they only have powdered milk, and that's when I truly realized the importance of, what Dr. Kurian has done and what Amul has done for the country. We are also used to having our fresh coffees and teas in the morning, right? So I think there's a huge domestic market that Indian brands should cater to, and you're seeing a lot of D2C brands, Indian brands that are coming up today that are making the most of that. But equally, you're right, sir, that I think it's important for us to also build brands that can go global and that can truly be adopted. And I think there are a lot of examples for that as well as we speak. And I'm very happy to say that, Titan and Tanishq are brands that have actually also gone outside of India and catering to not just the Indian diaspora, but also, the people, the locals of that nation. So I think, thank you for the question. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
My name is Anand. I have a question for Aparna. I never bought a wristwatch. I never used a wristwatch. Earlier, in the last century, we could figure out what time was. Now everybody has mobiles, and otherwise there are big clocks on the wall. So am I an anti-influencer? Am I a challenge for you, or am I not worth the trouble?
You're actually someone we would like to woo,
I'm also an unfunded startup founder, so I have no money.
Well, we have, something for everyone in the Titan portfolio. But I think a very good question you've touched upon, which is the fact that, what is the relevance of watches is the question I'm taking away. And I think, wearing watches has, for a long time, not been about keeping time. Timekeeping is also something a watch does. And ever since we've had smartphones and, even cell phones, we've been, using that for, keeping time. But I think what watches have done, and especially the analog watches have done today for us, is that it's a lot about, it really works like an accessory, right? And it's an extension of your personality. It's like, an attire you wear. It sort of completes your look. And also, many times, it's almost like an heirloom that gets passed on. And if you see, there's a lot of nostalgia associated with this category. When I meet consumers, it's very interesting how they talk about, this is the first watch I got when I cleared my board exams, and my father gave me this watch. And so, people preserve memories with it. So this category is not just about timekeeping. There's a lot more to it than what meets the eye. So hopefully we'll get to, we'll make something that interests you.
Gracias. I'm not going to teach Gavaskar how to bat or Sachin how to bat, but I'm sure you know the whole story of how the expensive Swiss watches got famous recently in the past 20, 30 years.
Great. With that, we wrap up this session. Thank you so much, Aparna. Thanks a ton, Siddharth. Thank you, everybody, for being a patient audience.
you.
Thank you.